you take a look at the tail of the tape, Joseph's 5 inches taller. Going to be a little bit lighter than Sherman the Tank. 20 years younger.
He's the former heavyweight champion and the former WBF Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. Introducing the challenger, Sherman the Tank Williams! He is the current WBO Oriental Heavyweight Champion, the current WBA-PABA Heavyweight Champion, Joseph Burgess! Punch with the knuckle part of the glove to the scoring part of the body. You must protect yourself at all time. If you don't, I will do it for you. Let's go. Touch gloves, go back to your corner and wait for the bell.
All right, so the very professional Vocale, the third man in the ring. There was a time when Tank Williams didn't think he'd fight again. He was in an automobile wreck and his back was really crushed. But he came back and fought Van the flag, gold and blue guy. I don't need to tell you in New Zealand who Joseph fought.
Seeing if he can garner a reaction.
Well, he wants to get angles and he wants to get into a position. But guys like Tony Tucker, Tony Tubbs were built the same way. And they were heavyweight champions of the world, especially.
Jab. He's not jabbing to the head, he's jabbing to the shoulder. He's jabbing.
Kind of a big cranium is you don't hurt your hands back. He doesn't want the Tank to get in on him and get that weapon. And if there's any question if his left shoulder is okay, it certainly also has got that.
Showing some good variety. And again, notice he's drifting right.
Hasn't really been able to get to the body.
It'll come at different paces.
And hand speed between Tank Williams.
Tank's also waiting for that right hand.
There's the first big right hand thrown by Joseph. And it catches a piece of Tank. Here in round 1.
Notice that Joseph's just throwing a ghost out of range, throws that left hook just enough to dissuade Williams from coming in. Lock that one away.
The undefeated champion from New Zealand, which is part of this Oriental Pacific, Tank Williams. Sherman finally.
It was in that first round, they were both pretty cold. It was quite a long time in between entrances. Is that left hook right hand that
can he clip him solidly, but he get the idea of what he wants to do. That one caught him pretty good. There's the overhand right that we've been looking for. And his Tank is opening up finally.
There.
Now he gets surprised by that shot, but that's the way Tank will veteran fighter, and why, you know, he's dangerous. He did for sure because it kind of stiffened out his legs. Joseph
back onto his game plan.
And there's the about in pounds about 200. Oh, I guess around 28 to 30 pounds. Look at this! Right hand caught him, kind of staggered the legs of Sherman Williams.
Round.
Closing seconds of the second round.
Interesting. Tank's also using the left hook to set up that overhand right on a couple of occasions. It was the right hand that initially sent him into the corner and encouraged him into action. Beautiful camera work. That right hand there.
And you remember early in his career, in his first about 15 fights, he had, I think, 12 came along. But then when he moved up in class, but of course that fight was in Europe, and that's tough. Nice left hand by Joseph. Grazed the nose, but got the attention of Sherman. Uppercut right angles right now after the shot. Joseph trying to work down the body. He's getting nice angles. Really out with the left hand, trying to get between the legs of the
left hook. That long left hook he can throw so quickly, particularly against a shorter fighter like Williams.
He's got off that one punch upstairs. It won't happen. He's doing a nice job in his face. He's following up with that left hook you just saw there. Now he's looking in the right hand, either upstairs, right there. 3-4 punch combination and 3 landed hard. Right hand solid. About the hand speed, Mike. It's so important because I can't think of anybody in the heavyweight division that's got faster hand forward to in his next 10 fights. Wow, with the right hand goes Tank. Back upstairs to the left. Now he tries to make it a brawl and Joseph ties him up. After the belly cut, Joseph behind the head. Kevin Barry having words.
Well, we've got to be very careful here. Corners coming into the ring. Luckily it came after the envelope and letting the boy know he was there.
That lady that just showed you was his wife, Kimberly. That's the wife.
And that was the hand speed there of Parker. And you can see when he does get inside, he is able to do some work, and that was the late call there that forced Brad Vocale to get in. Frustration from the tank, Sherman Williams. He's trying to come in off that.
Well, that's what he's got to do. He's got to try a little bit too underneath that elbow.
Well,
downstairs and then back up in your combinations. That's what he's setting up right now. Williams loads up there.
It's obviously something he's worked on. He ate that right hand.
So
and another one.
3 or 4 right hands in a row, and he goes down. That's a slip. That's a
Right hand over the top.
goes to the body again by Big Tank Williams.
He's working his angles well too.
Mike, as you well know, Monty Beetham will tell you the angles. The dangerous roll up because it just glanced off him. Joseph comes right back.
From the Tank Williams. He has a glimmer of hope, and Parker just...
And that Tank seems to do something well. Joseph gets an adrenaline flow. There's a solid right hand, left side of the head of Tank, and he has to hang on again. See that left hand down now. The bell ends round 4. That's another Parker round.
Do not leave him and don't stand in front of him. Keep walking around him. You're going to get body shots this round. Nothing too much to change him.
See, Kevin Smart, he leaves 2 things for him to say. Walk around him and body shots. That's all that's in the kid's mind now. That's all he has to do. As he gets his number, the attention of the world now a little bit.
Well, you've got to say, forget the rankings for a moment, because those can be manipulated, but when you're in the Ring magazine, nicely hooked right hand, someone has taken now, he's in the process of being chopped down.
Solid out of hand, as you saw at the end of what was it, the 3rd round there.
See the fake?
Yeah. Remember what Kevin said about moving. Whoa, did he load up that right hand?
That uppercut.
Remember, the uppercut is very good when you land it. It can be dangerous. There he comes again with it, trying to get this shorter guy so he doesn't hurt his hands by hitting him on top of the head.
By throwing that overhand right, by throwing the jab.
Tank goes with that overhand right. So far, he hasn't been able to hit that left shoulder.
They got to say, when an experienced fighter like Williams starts to talk like that, he's big.
Parker really starting to load up some shots here now. And his Tank doing what a 42-year-old fighter will do, and that's another one of the books for Joseph Parker. I've got it 50-45, 10-9 every round to this point.
Oh, he's touching your gloves and your shoulders. He ain't touching shit.
Old friend Garrett Belton, the judge sitting next to us, is Williams from the Bahamas, born in Freeport, lives in Florida.
That's something that will work for him, and he's using right. It's his rangefinder.
There's a straight right hand that time that was taken on.
We'll see if Parker comes to the left uppercut after that.
Right hand clipped him by the left ear that time. Nice combination. Some of that blocked by the glove.
Joseph there too, when he missed with the hook, he just used his left palm.
There, he's got a long way to go. Remember, this is only his 11th professional.
That top 10, it gets harder and harder to get fighters.
You know, for David and Dean to be able to get opponents. Look at this! Joseph lands a good shot. He caught him and staggered him for just a second.
Still patient, though. Still patient. He's not over.
Sherman Williams can't get close enough to use his head on Joseph's face, which is paramount, of Tank Williams. Tank's not known to be a dirty fighter, but, you know, in height, shorter guys can come up with that head and cause big...
And frustrating. There's that overhead.
Got caught. And he got caught real good. Now, is he going to hang on? Oh, he got nailed again. Never seen Joseph do that before.
Well, he's confident, but he's also... You get all with the confidence in a fighter when he has been clipped. We know he's now got a good set of whiskers on him.
That's it.
Games, keep working away to the body. Right? Yeah, that left hook to the head, straight right to the body.
And in a round where you really saw...
I mean, Joseph really controlled the round. The hurting blow, which is... Now, this hurt him. See him fall into the ropes?
They put him back on his heels, and there was that second shot. And you saw him pause just for a moment there. But the thing that set it up too, Colonel, that left rip to the body, that's clear.
And it's very much out of character when he came out and started wagging his kind of to show up people.
There it was, fakes with the left shoulder, then goes to the body with the rip to come with the overhand.
Here's Joseph for anything else in a break.
And notice, Pro doesn't explode out of that. Great work with the jab.
Because if he does and that head comes up, that's going to mean a cut, and I don't want to see that for Joseph.
Joseph is just missing a little.
That's what he wants to do, and try to catch this guy downstairs. Joseph looks a little gassed to me right now at this point.
He needs to start to come on. He's been here before. It's as if he was almost listening to us.
Yeah, well, that's the experience of this seasoned old professional. And Joseph, now he's up on his toes now. He might have heard you too much. That kind of whistle past the whiskers downstairs. Those are hard body shots. He's done enough to win the round.
On the bike, keep working.
Solid shot landed with.
He doesn't allow Williams to set his feet.
Okay, I'm not sure that any of the judges would have given the 6th round to Tank Williams, but since it was his best round, I did give him that.
Let's get him out of here. I got him hooks going. What's that? When I got inside, I got the hook going. That's right.
And if you could see in his face how Harry slowed down and how hard he was breathing.
Kicks it away from a fighter. And there was a noticeable deterioration in Tank Williams between the 6th and...
Just winning almost every round in the fight, if not every round. Wow, with the right hand, that one goes past the nose. Tank tried to throw his right hand back. There's the body shot that Kevin's looking for, and he did feel that. That one glanced off the shoulder. Now the uppercut up in front of him now. Let's see if he goes with the right hand. He works with the left downstairs.
He's feeling that.
There's a nice left hook that spins ahead of Tank. That head.
Good controlled work from Parker.
Yeah, and I love that. That's a good word, Mike, controlled. Williams flat-footed right now. Joseph takes...
Nice work, too, with that left hook. Just check hooking nicely. Missing.
Otherwise, that could have been a much more dangerous punch. He slipped on the logo that's on the canvas. Luckily for Joseph. There's Joseph up on his toes again, moving back and forth, sliding around to his right. Now, he's done that terrifically throughout the course of the evening. Now he feints, lands a right. He can hurt your hands very easily. There's a by circling back to his left. Williams, you look for his right hand instead of...
Pure speed that got that right hand through there. Set it up with the double jab. Showed him a different look at the jab.
That's another good round for Joseph.
Well, 2 rounds.
7 of them, maybe all 8. Who knows?
There's that probing jab. And that right hand that started the 8th round really set up an uppercut which came later. The big, powerful right hander. You can see there Parker using his left hand to control the head.
That's everything on that right hand. Look at that. That would definitely drop.
What do you do with a guy who's still dangerous? How do you stick to your game plan, and how do you mentally cope with a guy that you're actually getting tired hitting?
So far, nobody's been down. Nobody's been really shaken back there in the 5th round. No cuts. Fairly clean fight all around.
Parker's just got to watch he doesn't come into range too easily. That's nice work for the body once again.
Upstairs there's the uppercut, left hook. Now he's got the Tank flattened out. Now the left hand is coming down. The right hand is there. Joseph hits him with the right hand. Back up with the uppercut. Coming down. The right hand is there. And there it is. And it's...
Enough time when you're a professional fighter and experienced one to just regain some composure.
Be able to stand up against these punches that Joseph is landing. Another solid right hand.
That one he felt, that right hand.
Body shots. He keeps saying, talk after the fight. Joseph trying to dump him. He's on top of him. Needs the bad plan going in. That's the way you wanted to fight this guy.
Now he's working nicely in the clinch, just punching off the break himself.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to do that. He feints. He wants to load up something heavy. He'd like to take him out, live up to what he said that he'd knock him out, and do what nobody else has really done.
Well, another 10-9 round. I think in my books it's still a shutout. I think the Colonel's given 1 round to Parker.
But a shutout, I can live with that.
And you see, he's landed some serious shots on the cranium. And those shots are damaging shots from Parker. We know he can punch now. Slapped with the left hook, but the right uppercut was clean. And he's turning over the right hand nicely and right on the button.
That's the punch I said, Mike, at the time. That would knock out most men.
And you've got to say...
All right, here we go. This is round number 10, the 10th and final round of this fight.
Every time Parker shifts to his right, he uses the left hook to leave with the right hand.
Again.
Right on cue.
Top of him. Just right hand right on the bridge of the nose. And again, nobody down. Joseph is 11th professional fight. Minute gone.
Minute or so as we will see Williams.
More than halfway through the final round of this fight. Got him that time up in the shoulder. Still getting his angle, staying to the fight. He's totally controlled his fight, and that's what he
I don't think he needs to chase the knockout.
wants. And he's got the win, no question about that.
He's on his bike, he's working well.
Going the fight now. Down to 30 seconds, as he can't win the fight unless he knocks him out. Joseph down, lining up for one big shot to do right now. And there's the bell. Solid performance for Joseph Burgess.
Judge 1 scores the contest 90-100. Judge 2 scores the contest 90-100. And Judge 3 scores the contest 94-97 for your winner by unanimous decision. And still the WBA-PABA heavyweight champion, the WBO Oriental heavyweight champion, Joseph Burgess!
More lava for Taita Tamalang, you umang wiang ifusang ma Sherman Williams. Thank you to everyone who came out today to support. I came out here to try and knock out Sherman Williams, but Sherman Williams is a very experienced fighter and he's got a very hard chin. And those punches that I threw usually hurt people or knock people out.